Hello again, everyone. Saki here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2019 mod, and the 2020 car set. We are here at the paperclip of Martinsville for 50 laps here at night. On the pole is your wreckingandracing.com podcast, Toyota, driven by Brandon, looking for the green flag, and it is out. Behind Eric Almirola here, trying to get in between Denny Hamlin and the 18 of Kyle Busch. No go, and Chase Elliott tries to close the door on the 11 of Hamlin and stays to the outside. We need to get to the bottom as soon as we can here. Almirola looking racy, but gets in line and keeping us hung outside. We might be able to get that drive off the high line here and get under the 10. Indeed we can. Heavy braking, but these guys tend to really drive into the corner hard. As you can see, Kyle looking to our outside. We should be able to get under the 10 here and pick up another spot, and Brandon is commanding the race, followed by Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin right in front of us. So we will settle in fourth here early in the race, going to go pick up third right here, with Hamlin fighting hard back on the outside. This particular Martinsville has a little bump going into turn 3 and turn 1, so if you are on heavy brakes and the car lifts up just a little bit, you're liable to slide the tires a bit as the load is lessened off the tires and up into third. Pretty cool stuff. So while I have you here, I did want to mention that the wreckingandracing.com podcast guys do have an iRacing Invitational event through the end of June, and if you are interested in competing, it is open to the public. Just send an email to wreckingandracing@gmail.com or hit up Lugs and the Gasman on Twitter at wreckingandracing if you want to be involved in the iRacing series with both myself, Lugs, and the Gasman, as well as others. By the time you're watching this, we'll be racing at we would have already completed our first race at Daytona, so look for that on the channel a little later, as I'll get the races condensed and in highlight format. But running in second here, you can sort of see the skid marks of where we were a little light in the car and just slid the left front tire just a bit. But we're going to see if we can track down Brandon here, sliding the left front again, but we got into the corner a little bit better. A little bit too aggressive, though. We tapped the wall just a skosh. That's not going to hurt us too bad here at Martinsville. Really no aerodynamics required. And hoping for a good run here. And we are really good on corner entry. As you can see, we can get right up to the rear bumper of Brandon, but he gets that drive off, as you can see right there, off of turn 2 and 4. He can extend that lead down the straightaway, so we can catch him on corner entry, which is good if we want to try to set up a pass. But with him launching off the straightaway like he is, if we're side by side, he will probably get the whole shot on us and fight back on the outside. So pretty even as far as our driving strategies are concerned. And Chase Elliott is dropping back there in third. He's hanging tough a bit, but no pressure from behind. That is going to go away when we catch lap traffic. 50 laps at Martinsville, the longer we run green, the lapped cars are going to come back to us very quickly. And as you can see in 3 and 4, this last time by, we could see the back end of the field. Now, as Brandon navigates that traffic, we'll be able to follow him through if we're close enough, but if that lap traffic gets in between us, we'll have to fight hard and try to pass those guys ourselves. So maybe about 4 or 5 more laps and we will be in the thick of things, and there will be cars all the way around the racetrack. And yellows, of course, are always an issue here at Martinsville, though you can get nice long green flag runs. I've seen 250 and 3 lap green flag runs in the real event. So it's not uncommon, but it is possible. So we'll just see if we can stay within striking distance here, clipping the curb just a little bit in that grass. And that curb is pretty high. It does lift the car up just a skosh. So we want to get as close to that curb as we can without leaving it. Chase Elliott, though, bringing it back and getting to our rear bumper. So Chase is not out of this thing yet, and he can get into the corner a lot better than we can, it seems. I don't believe any AI are going to be pitting this time with 50 laps and 63 in the tank. The only reason you would pit in this race is for tires, and under green flag conditions, that's 3 or 4 laps down if you wanted to pit under green. So myself and Brandon are going to stay out as long as possible. If the yellow does come out, we will have to decide at that time what we would like to do. But giving up track position against cars that may stay out is detrimental here at Martinsville. Not a whole lot of room to make a pass, and pretty aggressive trying to make passes as well. So as it's looking, I think we will stay out. It's just situational. The 15 of Quinn Houff looks to be that is the 15 there. The 00 of Quinn Houff is in front of him. But Brandon goes a little bit wide there. It looks like the 15 is holding the outside lane. But Brandon driving really well, really aggressive, scraping and almost sliding into the 15 on the bottom there, really turning that wheel to stay off of him. That hurt his corner exit speed quite a bit. We'll be able to close that up quite a bit, as you can see. Does Brandon complete the pass on the 15 quite yet? Yes, he does. So we'll have to fight that 15. Hopefully we can get by him a little bit quicker than Brandon did so we don't lose time. By that time, Brandon will probably be on the 00. Plus, we have Chase Elliott right behind us, ready to pounce on any mistake we make as well. So it's going to be a little bit tinny, but I think we can get inside here in turn number 1, see if we can drive the brakes and not slide up to the outside. Really loose on the bottom, as you can see. That's definitely what Brandon was fighting as well, going under this 15. Not giving us a whole lot of room up here. But inside 3 and 4, hopefully we can get the power down and get around the 15 just a touch. The 15 drops back, but Chase Elliott looks to go to the inside, and he makes short work of that 15 as well. So Chase gets around the 15 with no problem. Brandon fought a bit around that 00. Hopefully we can clear Quinn Houff a little bit quicker. But Brandon has stretched that lead out just a bit here in lap traffic. It's all going to come down to how quickly we get through. And if we can pass the 00 and have him get in line and stall up Chase Elliott, then all the better. A wide arc trying to avoid the bump, get down to the bottom, get the power down. We should get under him, no problem here in corner number 1. And Brandon under the 96 of Daniel Suarez. Quinn Houff fights back hard on the outside. We can't use all of the racetrack. We'll have to drive into turn 3 and hope we clear him here. Oh, and Corey LaJoy with heavy rear end damage. That will bring out the caution. So Brandon will take the caution. Looks like Daniel Suarez 1 lap down, as well as the 00, the 32, and the 15. And with more than 10 laps to go, those guys will be lining up on the inside. I don't believe we're pitting this time, but we're just going to have to see. We'll re-rack them, and I'll be back with you for the green. Pace car heading off the racetrack. Brandon is in control of the field. We do have those lapped cars down to our inside, so if we can get a clean launch here for the green, we'll be able to trap Chase Elliott. Whoa, Brandon really loose on acceleration. I don't know if he spun the tires, but I don't think we got into him before he started doing that hospital wobble. But he gathered it up, kept it going straight. We'll clear the 00. And looking back at Chase Elliott, he is still trapped on that high line with the lap cars holding up the bottom groove. So if Chase cannot get that power down, and in fact it looks like they're going too wide in front of him, that's going to be to his detriment for sure, allowing myself and Brandon to gap third place just a bit. But unfortunately, with everyone restarting single file, the last car a lap down, or on the lead lap is a half a lap down already. So with more than 10 laps to go in this race, it's very likely we will recatch the tail end of the field, and that's going to be, of course, always exciting coming to the end. Looks like Eric Almirola got around the 96 of Daniel Suarez. Chase Elliott giving up that third spot is difficulties with passing those lap cars. I don't know if Almirola has anything for us, though. We'll watch in the mirror and see if he can close up. Brandon stretching that out just a little bit. Tires are feeling okay after the restart. Usually if you don't change tires and you have another restart, the tires feel like junk, but so far so good. And no lap cars in front of us, and really no cars behind us. So we're in our own groove, just pacing, seeing if we can claw into that lead just a little bit, but holding station fairly close. Now that was a good turn 3 entry for sure. If we can keep nailing the entries and not losing so much off the corners, we'll be okay. We'll be able to reel in Brandon right back, hopefully in time for the lap cars to pop their head in and be able to take advantage of a bad position perhaps. Brandon possibly overdrove turn 3 there, or his car's tightening up, and he went to the second groove. If he continues to run that second groove and we can keep hooking the bottom, we may eat in by a few tenths a lap. He ground out just a little bit there. I don't think he was able to get on the power as quickly as he would have liked, and getting into turn 3, we can chew into that a little bit more. So feeling good about our chances here, but as the laps wind down, who knows what's going to happen. There could be a caution in the middle of the pack to group everyone back up together. Oh, Brandon sort of buzzed the tires a bit off of turn 2 right there. His car looks to be loose on exit as we continue to run. We'll see if... No, he's pretty planted off of turn 4 there. It may have been just a freak thing exiting 2. Or perhaps 2 is where he's having trouble getting the power down, but nope. Looks like just a freak thing. He may have gone into a 4-wheel slide there just for a little bit. Don't know if he's saving tires, abusing tires, or what exactly is the situation with his car. If there's something we can take advantage of, and I saw the 95 of Christopher Bell. He looks to be the first car that we are going to catch on the tail end of the lead lap. And Brandon is able to roll that middle and get that launch off. We are really good on entry. We'll have to maintain here and see what we got. And those lap cars in front are side by side and definitely not ideal. And it looked like perhaps they got into each other as a little bit of debris was bouncing off the racetrack there. It looked like light blue. Possibly off the 38 maybe in front of us. We'll have to see if John Hunter Nemechek had any damage. But I would say in 3 or 4 more laps time, we will catch the back end of the field. Looking in our mirror, looks like Chase Elliott has indeed repassed Eric Almirola and gotten around all of those lap cars. There may not be enough time for him to catch us if we're running single file like this, but we will see. But who isn't running side by side are all of the guys in front of us, and that is going to be really hairy to try to navigate. Right on that back bumper now, washing out just a little bit, trying to get the power down. Probably in the next lap or 2, we will be on the back bumper of that 95, and we'll try to make something happen if we can. Really overdriving the car now into the wall. Great under braking still. Luckily, 2K3 isn't as sensitive in their damage model as iRacing is, so car isn't really hurt. I don't think that the game has registered any sort of damage yet. So we still have a fresh car aside from the tires, and everyone else is pretty much on those same tires. And with side-by-side running in front, it looked like Nemechek and Bell running side-by-side. That's not going to be good. Michael McDowell in front of them, sort of slowing them both up. Going 3 wide might be a thing that Brandon will consider doing. Bell goes up and cuts him off a bit. We'll see if Brandon makes the move going into turn 1, 3 wide. We'll be able to get to the outside. Brandon cuts the wheel hard, goes 3 wide. We'll follow him through into the 95 just a touch. Brandon really loose. Tried to fill the spot. Brandon comes down. And we get away with it. We are still under green. Possibly the 38 got the worst end of that deal, but everyone kept it going straight, so we stay green in the closing laps of the race. Another 3-wide move under McDowell and Keselowski, and Brandon is really loose on that bottom, kicking that rear end sideways. Let's go full attack mode and see what we've got here. Brandon tries to really power through and pass both those guys on corner exit. We're stuck on the bottom now under the 34 and the 2. I don't know if they rolled out or not, but very, very fortunate to get past both of those guys. We'll be able to gain a little bit here as we're able to extend our corner, and hopefully we can get by the 17. The 15 really slow though. Not only did we lap him and he started up next to us, but we've lapped him again. And getting down to the bottom under the 15, hopefully he doesn't go 3 wide with Ty Dillon. That would not be good. Charging under the 13 here, getting into the corner still. Does Brandon make the move on Blaney? Under Blaney and Newman, possibly. Newman gives up that second groove. The 3 of Austin Dillon is the next car up for grabs. And trying to maintain as best we can. Brandon up into 3 a little bit. He hops the curb, still keeps it going straight. This is our chance to see if we can get to the bottom. Heavy braking in and just a tap. Brandon around, it looks like he's got it straight. I don't know how many cars are going to pass him and how many of those were lap cars. Unfortunately, that is going to bring out the white and yellow flags together. So this race will end under caution. And that will be a win for us, but possibly not a popular win. That's not how I want to win these things. Charging in, everyone was loose and fighting for that position, but unfortunately it looks like this race will end under yellow. Waiting on that pace car, here it comes, and we will roll across with the win. Certainly not how I wanted to do it. Usually Brandon and I are very clean. Lap traffic is usually terrible when we are side by side like that and going for the lead, but we will take win number 5 on the year. Looking at second place looks to be, wow, a 3 wide across the line, Keselowski and Nemechek. But Chase Elliott will come in second. There is Brandon in third. Going back to 4th place, look like Eric Almirola. 5th place will be Kyle Busch. 6th place will be Tyler Reddick. 7th place will be William Byron. 8th place, Kevin Harvick. 9th place will be Jimmy Johnson. And rounding out your top 10 will be the rookie Cole Custer. Let's go back to see what happened to old Corey LaJoie. His rear end was definitely shortened up. And that happened in turn 3 and 4 when we passed him. There was the green, there was the yellow. And let's see what happened to Corey LaJoie. And there's Brandon on the inside, driving hard inside the 32. And yeah, Brandon looked like he was on the bottom, like right on that yellow line. I don't know if LaJoie came down, but they definitely got together, bringing out the caution. And then, of course, that next to last lap with us. Unfortunately, everyone fighting amongst themselves to try to get that position and get around lap traffic on lap 48 here. So looking to the inside, locked up the left front. Brandon got it turned around, and it didn't look like he got hit too awful hard, but unfortunately dropping back to 3rd. Still a good top 5 run, but that's not how we want to do things here. Looking at your point standings after Martinsville, we have 5 wins for the year. Brandon with 3, Harvick, Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Boyer with 1. Joey Logano is your cutoff driver, and Kyle Larson has now dropped out of the top 16, painting a better picture for the playoffs. And now Matt Kenseth will step into that 42 car, and if he does get a win in our simulated series, we will, just like NASCAR, put him eligible for the championship. So look out for that. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in Charlotte. Take care.